What is up, guys? In today's video, we're going to be spectating random players in Fortnite Chapter 4 Season 3.0 build. This is going to be the first one of these videos I've made so far this season. Let me know down in the comments below what you think of this season so far. It definitely started out as a pretty big disappointment for me, but I definitely think it has gotten better as it's gone on. Just the lack of mobility the first week or so is pretty tilting. And then also, I wasn't the biggest fan of like the vaults and the island, so having them return definitely wasn't my favorite thing either, but I do think the updates this season have been pretty good, and we'll see what type of game we can get into. I don't know where I want to go. Racetrack, maybe. It's like a weird bus. I'm not too. I don't know how I feel about the jungle POIs. I'm not the biggest fan of them. I don't know how many people were gonna go there, what they were gonna be doing all game. But that's what was early for this bus pass. Looks okay. Sweet, this player's got the Nana umbrella. You already know, they're going to be cracked. They got to win within the first 2 weeks of the season. Okay, I was about to say, is he going to land in that tree? That's not a good start. Come here. I can't even drop them my crown because you can't drop crowns at this point. We're on board with Davin Hex, or Davin Hex. He's getting killed by somebody with a drum shotgun. We didn't even get to see it. Now we're on board with Trolley. 617. They have a drum shotty. They didn't pick up that pistol for some reason, but who needs anything other than the drum shotty? They are very weak. I think there's another player in this castle, so I feel like pursuing them is not the best bet. There is barrels here, though, if they're able to get up top, and there are coolers outside. So they're just going to use these bandages, try to get to at least 75 HP. The way they're at, like, 125, it's certainly better than what they are in. But it sounds like this other player is either creeping around up top or pushing them. I think they're up top. I just heard one of the automated doors open. And I don't recall if there's an NPC here anymore. It's definitely a player. And this player seemed to be caught off guard there, but he should have known that this was a person because I would have naded himself. This game is over for them. Hopefully, okay, nice. We spectate this person. I was worried it was gonna make me go across the map. But the player we were spectating there seemed to be caught off guard that this person was up there, but they shouldn't have been because you could hear the automated doors like open and close, and that should have been like a dead giveaway that like, okay, there's somebody up there. They just came out of the door. And now they're gonna fight me. So chaotic landing spot. I was gonna go racetrack, but it just looked like there was definitely people going here, so we went here. But that's about like what I would expect this place to be if there's several people there. Just kind of all RNG to an extent, and whoever fights last kind of has an advantage in those types of situations. I feel like if you're gonna land at a spot that's super contested like that, and there isn't very much loot, just being the last person to fight is a big deal. Because you saw the first person that we gave the crown to, we kind of griefed them. Like them having to kill me kind of like messed up their timing, and then they got third-partied, and then after that the person existed for a little bit, but they also got third-partied. And that's just, I feel like, kind of the nature of the game. And I feel like the main reason for someone wanting to land here would just be for the vault that spawns in second zone. I mean, it's not a bad spot to land by any means, but if it's going to be this contested, I feel like it's not worth. But it is like a solid amount of loot for solos. You have the slap barrels, you have different rotations into like the gas station area or the racetrack area afterwards, Slappy maybe, and then you also have potential for a vault spawning here. Someone just went up that zip line. Let's get 46 damage. It's just gonna be oversealed. Oh, he faked like he's going in. This is a kill down. There's no way they lose that. Okay. I was gonna say that person like faked like they went in and then came back out and re-challenged it. Definitely would take that MK if I'm them. Okay, bet. So pump MK is something you can do if you want to make room in your inventory for, other stuff. Personally, it's not something I would do in public matches, but maybe in competitive because there's a lot more utility to carry. If you are someone that loves sniping, though, I could see this being a viable setup. If you definitely want to use the pump and you want to use the sniper, then having like the MK or the flapjack as your other weapon could be good. But if I was just playing pubs, I wouldn't want to just do pump MK because it's not as lethal as some other spray weapons, and like it's gonna be hard to like play aggressive and get a lot of kills with that. And as you see there, they almost like they probably should have gotten that kill, but they just barely didn't get it. And I feel like a lot of that could have been attributed to the MK. Like it's a solid mid to long range weapon. It's serviceable up close like that, but if he had something that was just a little bit better up close, like the flapjack, the tactical pistol, either of the SMGs, I feel like he probably wins that versus that player. Or if he swapped back to his shotgun. Also, I feel like that fight could have started on better terms for the player we were spectating. I'm not too sure what happened there. This is one of the reasons why I wouldn't want to land at a spot like this. The vault is nice, don't get me wrong, but I feel like shockwaves in the game are incredibly important in zero build, and they're not the most prevalently spawning thing. The only thing you can really do to like increase your odds of getting them is just land at a place with a lot of loot. So landing at kind of like a more split location like this, where there isn't very much loot. Sure, if you get the vault, then you have a solid amount of loot, but it's not like you need to be here right away anyways to get the vault, and who knows if the vault will spawn. I feel like landing at a spot with more loot is like pretty desired. The vault did spawn. It looks like there's more shockwaves on that body. Please go and pick those shockwaves up. There's shockwaves behind him and it's giving me anxiety, but it seems like he's just more concerned about getting the vault for whatever reason. But yeah, I think shockwaves are super duper important. I highly recommend using them. Or bunkers. If I can't find shockwaves, then I'm happy to run bunkers instead. But like one of those two items I feel like is very important right now in zero build. It's like the only thing you can really do to kind of finish kills or like change the tide of a fight if you get caught in a bad situation. You know, you could throw it on a bunker, you could throw it on mobility and get out of there. And like there is the rationale, I guess, that some people have that if you just play perfect, you won't ever be in a bad position and then you won't need mobility to correct for that. But I'm sure, you know, we've all played Fortnite. You could do everything right and just happen to get beamed by somebody hiding in a bush or like getting pinched by two people at a random time. You know, there's just like, there's so many things that can go wrong that are out of your control, and mobility is one of the few things that can correct for that. And that's one of the reasons why I think it's so important. This is going to be a difficult fight for this player to win. He has like the bots keying him, so he's going to have to waste ammo on these bots, but there's also another player here, and the bots shouldn't be aggroed on that other player. So if I was that other player here, I would just be full pushing this as fast as I can. Especially you hear him spamming the Maven. Like if he's able to catch, if he's able to start the fight while the player we're spectating has to reload, then that's an easy kill. But his timing was not great, and the bots also didn't do very much damage. But if he was a little bit faster there and caught this player with only like 1 or 2 bullets in his Maven, then I think that this player we're spectating is not in the game anymore. Not really sure what this Red Knight is doing. There's just playing outside that door. He's going to fight the bots again. He might be trying to bait that Red Knight, but he once again used all his ammo, I think. I think someone was using the invisibility gauntlets there. There is like an audio cue for using the invisibility gauntlets. He got sniped. He's down to 17 HP. There's another person coming, and this is where shockwaves would be crucial. He's a little too slow to pull him out. Yeah. If he just immediately shockwaved, he maybe lives there, but he's a little slow to pull it out, and then now like his game is over. There's still people fighting at the castle though. I feel like get the MK and then go fight. Like you want a third party this. That timing is crucial. The player to his left, he doesn't seem to see them. And he's over. I guess the timing wasn't crucial because they weren't really fighting. That's the worst. It's just a player that's like sniping up top and then somebody down low. This person's got the sniper and the exotic maven. This is kind of like what I was saying before. If you wanted to run heavy snipes, I think the flapjack is actually a great choice, but the MK is also a fine choice. Like the flapjack, I feel like is an incredible weapon. This is not an ideal push. I feel like you want to wait for your overshield to come back. Wait, is that player dead? I don't know what happened there. I'm so confused. Alrighty then. But I feel like the flapjack is a really underrated weapon. It can do close range, it can do medium range. The bloom on it is actually incredible. It's a very large magazine. The main thing it really stinks at is long range. But if you're using a sniper anyways, then who cares? You know, you have the sniper for long range, especially if you are someone that's good at sniping. So if you are someone that wants to use the heavy sniper, I feel like a setup like this can be like very good. Because a flapjack is a very versatile weapon. And you could use something like the exotic maven that doesn't need a spray weapon, or a drum shotty that doesn't need a spray weapon. But even if you wanted to use the pump, I feel like the setup would be great. I use the flapjack rifle for my spray weapon anyways. These bosses are incredibly weak. Yeah. He dropped the flapjack there. That was actually a decent choice. So when it comes to like what you're going to drop to get the vault, this is like incredibly niche and it shouldn't really matter. But if he gets into a fight right here, he's unlikely to need the flapjack rifle because he has the exotic maven anyways. And he checks under that stairs. That's good. That's where someone's going to be hiding. But also, he's going to get the mythic flapjack from this vault anyway. So like the flapjack is the most expendable weapon there. I often drop my MK for the key card, and it's for the same reason. It's not like I'm guaranteed an MK out of the vault, but it's just like if I'm fighting around this castle after like getting the key card and going to the vault, then my MK isn't really going to be that relevant in that fight. So like I can go and loot the vault. Maybe I'll get another MK from it. Maybe I won't, but like either way, it'll still be there otherwise. But if he drops like his shotgun, for example, for the key card, and then gets into a fight with a player before he gets to the vault or a player under those stairs, then that's going to be a really hard fight for him to win. And it's going to probably be over solely because he dropped his shotgun for the key card. And little things like that can matter when it comes to like fighting around these vaults or just like getting caught with awkward timing. And like everyone showing up to the castle like that, I feel like kind of plays in with what I was talking about, how like you can play fights well, but still just get unlucky situations happening, and that's why mobility is so helpful. The player we were spectating was slow to use it and then still died, but if they were faster to use that shockwave, I think they would have been able to live that situation. And it's like there's not much you can do about 5 people all showing up where you are at once, you know? Or just, you know, several ratty players all coming out at once. It is how Fortnite is. I'm interested to see this player play though. I think this can be an incredibly good setup. Like the exotic Maven is obviously like an insane weapon. I have like the worst time using the Maven for whatever reason this season. I'm just like not going to use it for a while. The first week I was using the exotic Maven a good amount, and I just kept having the most like unlucky things happen with like blank shots and stuff. Not really sure what this player is doing, if they're thinking about camping that combat cache or what. Maybe just looking edge of zone because it's coming. This is not good. He has no cover. Should be fine though. That player missed shots. He gets this tree and then snipe back. I'm not sure what he's doing. So like when you're getting shot like that, oh, this is not good. I think he didn't even need to use. Okay, so like if you're getting shot at like that, the first thing you want to do is just get cover between you and the opponent. And there was that tree there, and he could have gotten to that tree, and I would assume if he has a sniper, like his setup is obviously very geared towards the sniper, that he should be decent with it. But instead he was like worried about getting on that hill, which sure, it would be nice. Turns out there's another player there, but if he just gets to that tree, then the player behind him can no longer shoot at him, and then he can probably snipe back at that player. But a lot of people panic when they get shot right away, and then oh my gosh, the Cybertron cannon. A lot of people panic when they get shot, and then they just do things like that, whereas just getting to some sort of cover as fast as possible is super important. And that's why it's like it's not really something I think about. I feel like if you play the game a lot, it'll just be a habit where you just kind of naturally put yourself close to cover as you're running. And like you just got to be aware of what the nearest piece of cover is at all times. And then like when you get shot, get to it as fast as possible. I do like that they didn't panic and use the slurp though. Like it might have mattered. Like just getting the slurp off right away would have given him full HP right away. But luckily there was no one in the area, so he was just able to recycle heals, and then now he still has his slurps. I think there's a person over here. Wasn't there just somebody gliding? Yeah. Bruh. What am I witnessing? I don't know if this player doesn't have audio or what, but like yeah, I heard that player like gliding and landing there. I don't know exactly where they were, but like you probably want to be careful. Is he gonna go for island and get the mythic drum? Interesting. There's somebody on island. I don't mess with island at all this season. I just feel like it's not worth. I don't really care for the mythic drum shotgun. I don't use the drum shotgun. I typically use the pump. I usually have slurps. I get my combat cache for slurps. If I was desperate for slurps, then maybe. But even then, I would almost rather just get like shield fish out of a combat, out of a hollow chest and go there. I feel like fighting island this season is just not it. I feel like a lot of the fights you get on the rooftop, which is typically, you know, how fights play out on the island, a lot of those fights are just going to be like drum shotty favored. Like if you're using a pump and you fight somebody up there that has like a drum or an exotic Maven, I feel like it's a very inconvenient fight for you to win. Even if you win it, you're probably likely to take some amount of damage, and then like the third parties just like keep raining in, you know, and they just more and more people barrel stuff you with a drum. So I just don't even mess with it this season. I feel like the mythic drum, like the drum shotty is annoying, but I feel like the drum shotty is like annoying regardless of rarity. It's just like I feel like the rarity on it isn't that big of a deal. Whereas the pulse rifle was like a more unique weapon that even if you didn't want to use it, denying somebody else having it was like pretty beneficial. And then also, I don't really encounter too many people using the mythic Maven. Was I saying, or mythic drum, sorry. I don't know if I was saying exotic the entire time, but I meant mythic drum. I don't encounter that many people using the mythic drum for whatever reason. I don't know why. but I don't think I've died to it at all this season. Like, I probably just jinxed myself, and now I'm just going to be dying to the mythic drum every game. But, like, yeah, I just don't encounter people using it, really. So I'm not that concerned about going island. Like, I don't want the reward. Fighting it just seems like a lot of very random fights this season with how the drum shoddy plays out. And it's just, I feel like it's better to avoid it this season. I also think, like, the mobility isn't as easy to just get on roof. Like, if you were capturing it last season and someone, like, rifted or ziplined, you just katana and you're on roof. Whereas now, like, you shockwave, maybe you get roof perfectly, maybe you don't. Or you gotta, like, run and mantle, and then, like, the person rifting probably gets there in time, and then now they're just barrel stuffing you with a drum shoddy. Just, like, the entire situation there just feels more random this season than it did last season to me. So I would rather just avoid it completely. And like I said, I don't encounter too many people using the mythic drum. Like, it doesn't seem like the person using it makes it long into the game at all for whatever reason in my experience. There's a launch pad up here. Still 13 players remaining. I'm happy they didn't soaring sprints jump there. Because, like, a lot of people get soaring sprints and then they just constantly spam it. But if he's soaring sprints jump there, then this player has more time to beam him. And this is, like, one of the drawbacks of the flapjack. It's not great at a situation like that. The MK would be better. And now that he doesn't have a sniper and instead he has a Cybertron cannon, he doesn't have as much of, like, a fix for long-range fights. But the Cybertron cannon can do this. One more shot should break that, or you could just start ARing it, and that wall should be incredibly weak. There's a player behind the player that he just shot, though, on the ice lake. He's going to hit the pad and go. With his own brutal. I'd probably just go here. But I don't feel like this player can play any sort of power position confidently because he doesn't have a ranged weapon. Like, the flapjack can do it, but it's not great to be peeking into MKs or snipers. When he had a sniper, then, like, okay, you can control the power position with snipe. But playing this with MK Cybertron cannon, not great. Once the zone gets smaller, though, like, the fact that he doesn't have, like, a perfectly accurate long-range solution will be nice. This thermal fish is good. You could eat that and then go up top. Does it not work for spectators? But if he gets up top now and then just looks back, he's going to have, like, so much info. I don't know if the thermal just doesn't work for spectators or if he didn't eat it. But, like, right now, if he's up here, he should be able to see people really easily. Yeah, I would assume it works. He, like, instantly saw that player. The person just died in storm. But imagine if he had, like, an MK or if he had that heavy sniper here. This player on island is in danger. But, like, right now, this player on island is, like, not that stressed about their situation. I feel like they're just going to sit in storm and drink slurps. If that player has an MK or if that player has a sniper, then they can just easily beam him back and then push ahead. I don't know what they're doing. They're going for the launch pad. This Cybertron cannon is not it. He could shoot at this player. I feel like you want to get some shots on him here just to deny him landing on you. Like, just get a bullet or two, make him not want to land on you. But this is not a kill that they're going to get. So all this time he's shooting, he's just making himself a target for other players and third parties and stuff. So you don't want to be too attached to that there. Would his zone pull Lonely Lab? I don't know where to go with this zone, honestly. This would maybe be a decent place, but you're too centered. I think that this mountain is all open. There's no, like, terrain cover there. Maybe this one would be good to have. But this player doesn't have bunkers. I didn't see how much damage the first shot did. But the second one was 83. If that player was weak at all, then I think he could have just, like, swapped to the flapjack and got that elim. Because, like I said, it does have very minimal bloom. If you had porta bunkers, I feel like porta bunkering on this mountain was, like, ideal for this zone. But it's like not the biggest deal because this zone doesn't matter. The game isn't going to end on this zone. Pulls back Slappy. This is very good for this player. You want to just get ahead here, I think. I think if you're him, you chill here. And then soaring sprint shockwave when zone starts pulling towards Slappy. Because they have soaring sprints, right? And they have shockwaves. They could get there in one shockwave and then, like, kind of hold the rest of the lobby. It's going to be hard for them to hold the rest of the lobby since they don't have it. .ir, but people will have to come into the point where you can hold them. Like, if you get here first, everybody's in here. Or even, like, if you get to here first, as zone closes, like, no one else is going to be there. And it's going to be very easy for you to just close the game off that. This player's using the invisibility gauntlets, but the invisibility gauntlets I feel like are pretty misleading. You could still see the dust someone kicks up. There's like a bluish purple hue around them. This is a fight that stinks for him. He just wants to get some damage on this player, I think, just to like make them not want to fight. Let's let that guy go. Or you can get the kill maybe, but like just taking a like long range fight like that, both kind of no cover versus an MK with a bloom weapon isn't ideal. I don't know what he's doing here. More shockwaves, it's nice. More slurps is nice, but just soaring spent shockwave, please. Use the one shockwave and win the game, please. Like, I feel like a lot of people don't want to use their shockwaves or use their utility sometimes because they're worried about saving it for the perfect moment. But, like, look at that. Like, he's just, like, full rotated that entire zone with one shockwave. That player does shoot him in the back a little bit. But if he had done it sooner and from, like, the top of that mountain, then, like, he's fine. I guess that was worth getting, but I don't know. It, like, took longer than I would have liked. Cybertron cannon this truck, yeah. You guys have problems with people using cars? I'm pretty sure the Cybertron cannon just like full briefs it. Two people fighting over there, I think. Zone pulls back his way, I think. This would be a good spot to be with this zone. I think that's a building. I would Cybertron cannon that truck. Because it recharges, right? I've never used the Cybertron cannon, to be honest, but I think he could blast it right there, and then that truck isn't going to have any impact on the game. Maybe he's worried about, like, giving away his location, but he already shot from here. Three opponents remain, though. This fight that he's trying to third party, there's nothing going on with it. I think there's, like, a player under him shooting at somebody over here. He could grief the gas station, but I don't think that really matters. I feel like he just plays zone here. If those people are heavy fighting, you can maybe get in, and then like it'll be a 1v1 after, and I'm pretty sure the other player is playing the docks. Someone just got in a truck and swapped seats. What are you doing? Get on the roof, please. Just play his roof and you win the game. Probably this roof here. I feel like that's better cover. Player behind him. That he could shoot this flare gun a little bit and mark everybody in the zone. I don't know if that doesn't show on spectators either. I don't like the way he's played this so far. Soaring, I would shockwave across. He has no damage on a player that's gonna 50-50 him with a drum. Even if he kills that player, like he probably gets third partied. I feel like just getting away from this player would be ideal because this guy's a psychopath. Yeah. Nice, he gets the kill, but we'll see if he gets third partied off of it. Like, I feel like just like, I don't know why I've encountered a decent amount of people like that in game too. It's like people like make it in game and then they can't like contain themselves anymore and they just like 50-50 somebody with the drum. And it's like, even if you get the kill, you'll often just get third party. Luckily he didn't, but imagine if the other player did just walk forward. He was like, what? No shield, I think? And then like 100 white? Like he was very weak. I think the player's behind that rock, yeah. I think the other player just shockwaved above him. Oh, he went this. Soaring spent shockwave Cybertron cannon. And then switch to Maven. No, play cover, play cover. What is he doing? He's out in the open. He's panicking. He's panicking. Do it again. Same thing again. Or maybe not. This player might not be in zone. This is stressing me out. He's to the left. He's over here. I think he just lost. Yeah, GG's. Oh, this Kodak player. This is a good player. I've fought this guy several times. But, I think that player that we were just spectating, I wish I could move the camera. Actually, I'm going to go into replay mode. Okay. So, like, right here. Like, that's a good initiation that, like, denies that person their thing that they had, and then it makes them use their shockwave. If he just chills in their bunker, then he probably can just win the game. Like, the other player's right here. If he just sat in that bunker, then the game is over probably, I would think. Or he would have gotten more damage and then he could have translated that. Or just get here. Just immediately get to that tree or get to this tree. But you see he like runs out in the open here and then it's just kind of doing nothing for a while. And like that, I'm so bad at using replay mode. I always misclick. But I feel like that little bit of hesitation just like full cost him the game there. If he just did literally anything else, I think he wins. But like he just did nothing. He allowed this player to get back in the game. And then every time he shockwaved, he also soaring sprint shockwaved. I don't think that's ideal to do. Like soaring sprint shockwave can be good, but I feel like you want to be sparing when you do it because like right here he did it and then I don't know, like he was just way too high and then this player was able to fry him. But I like this zone really stinks. It's too open. I feel like you win the game on this zone if you just play the bunker or play either of the trees. But that is going to be it for this video. I hope you guys found this helpful or informative. If you did, remember to give a like, subscribe if you'd like to see more, and comment down below what you think of Chapter 4 Season 3 so far. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching.